sports.
Welcome to The Playbook, where we're talking sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and we're 100% digital, 100% live, and 100% real. Let's count them down. Welcome to our digital sports show. It's The Playbook. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat. We do this every Monday around this time, 1:45. We go live on R&B Philly's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Sean Bell joining me this week, podcaster and sportscaster, also daddy of the year.
I guess so, man. It's a long weekend, long day, long week.
Yeah, and you're making it happen, man.
Yeah.
I hope you get more than gray sweatpants for Father's Day, okay?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to wear those gray sweatpants out, though. The way y'all be acting.
Right. All right. We got a lot to get to. Let's hop right to it. We are in the midst of NBA playoff finals action. Here's what our bracket looks like right now. Once again, no one saw these teams going up against each other, but as we can see, the Warriors are steadily looking like they're going to sweep the Mavericks, and then the Miami Heat are up 2-1 in that series against the Celtics. Honestly, I have the Celtics and the Warriors making it to the finals, but I'm a little surprised that the Miami Heat are giving the Celtics a run for their money.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Jimmy Butler's a dog. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, they're the number one seed for a reason. So Jimmy Butler and what they do, Tyler Hero coming off the bench, Bam Adebayo being so versatile. So, the Miami Heat, just culture and pedigree matters. Like, that's what you've seen from the Warriors team. Like, you're seeing culture, you're seeing pedigree, people
Right.
who know how to win from top to bottom, from ownership to GM to head coach, et cetera, et cetera. People who know how to win find a way to win. You're seeing the Dallas Mavericks team who just doesn't have that championship pedigree, right? They're a bunch of players who don't know how to win it all, a coach that doesn't know how to win it all, doesn't know how to be clutch in certain moments, and a bunch of players who just aren't showing up in certain situations. I think same with the Miami Heat. They're the less talented team. Right? But just know how. And I know Jimmy Butler doesn't have a chip, but Eric Spoelstra knows what to do. You know what I mean? Like, those guys know what to do. Pat Riley knows how to set up a team. So it's culture is winning right now.
And it's interesting you say that, because you're right. That's why I had the Celtics being a little bit more dominant in this series, because they are the better team when you look when you look at how they're rounded out, right? But you're right. Jimmy Butler is a hell of a player and a championship player. And that's what we're seeing here. I just hope his team shows up every game. Because his team sometimes, they don't really show up all the time. So we'll see what happens there. Real quickly, let's talk about Sixers talk. Danny Green. There's a lot of speculation about some of the changes that are coming this offseason. Danny Green has been at the center of a lot of those conversations. Is it over for him? Is he retiring? He took to his podcast to say, despite the torn ACL and NCL on his left knee, he said, quote, "I'd like to end on my own terms and not a major injury. I will be back before All-Star break. You better believe it. You heard it here first. So I will work my tail off to rehab and get back healthy." He says he has a history of healing really fast, and he feels like he can make an impact for the team coming up in the next playoff series. What? Is this legitimate? Should we have Danny Green back next year, even though the man's going to be literally hurt for half the year, if that, maybe more?
Well, I don't know if he's going to come back for the Sixers, but he's going to come back somewhere. I mean, it like he said, no one wants to end their career with an injury. Everyone wants to end their career on their own terms. So I'm not even expecting that man to come back, and I know he wants to make an impact. I don't expect him to come back and make an impact, but he just wants to come back, play in some meaningful basketball games, and then call it quits. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not trying to get out there and say, I'm going to be a starter or I'm a guard Luka Doncic or anything like that. Nah, fam, I don't want to go out like that, right? Like, that's all it is. Let me play. I don't care if I play 2 games or I play 5 minutes. Let me go out on my own 2 feet, healthy, and then say, all right, I'm calling it quits.
Yeah. Do you think the Sixers bring him back next year?
No, but at the same time, they don't have a lot of options. I mean, that's another topic for another
Right.
day. But the Sixers don't, and I know Daryl Morey. The one thing that he is good at is making trades and making magic, right? So
Right.
he's able to maneuver some things. But the situation with them is so cap unfriendly, and they
Mm,
don't have a lot of assets that are worth anything to trade. The only asset they have that's worth anything is Tyrese Maxey, and you don't want
right.
to give that up. So
Right.
Danny Green may just come back based on the fact that the Sixers can't get in, aren't going to be able to get in a lot of other veterans and a lot of other players. So, they may bring him back just to be that type of vet, good locker room guy like he's always been. But, as far as playing, if Danny Green comes back and you want to put him in the starting lineup or in the rotation, coming off of that major injury,
Right.
that means you have no chance that season of winning anything.
Yeah. Speaking of assets, Matisse Thybulle has been a topic of conversation for the second year in a row. He's all second team defensive, right? So that kind of gives them a little bit of leverage. There's been some conversation about the Bulls being interested in Matisse, maybe Korkmaz being a part of a trade. I know Zach LaVine with the Bulls is entering free agency this offseason. Is this what our leverage that we have? Is this what we have to work with right now?
I mean, yeah. I know Philly hates him right now, but he's a huge asset. Like,
No, I don't hate him. I just think he let us down.
Okay, let us down. Hate. There's a lot of that everywhere in between in Philadelphia right now. But I said Tyrese Maxey is the main asset, the only thing to go get a superstar. But you can do something with Ty Ball and trade him. People want him. Look at the Dallas Mavericks series. They can't guard a lick.
Mm-hmm.
They can't guard me off a broken hip. Okay.
Not you.
I can get some buckets off of Luka Doncic in that squad right now. They can't guard anything. So people we didn't mention this. Matisse made second team all defense.
Yeah.
Again, coming off the bench.
Yep.
Okay, he's an all defensive player again. So yes, teams who can't guard, like a Dallas Maverick team, like Dallas, I would be going after that guy right now, are going to look for him, and that's going to be a trade piece. But guess what? If you give up him, you're not going to get much back. Don't expect to get something back that's gonna help you win a championship, right? You're not gonna get Zach LaVine unless you're gonna say
we can give Zach LaVine.
No, not unless you're gonna say I'll do Matisse and Tyrese.
Or how about Tobias?
They're gonna take that contract. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That's the other thing.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it.
We got a couple of players in free agency. The Shake Miltons, again, not players that you're going to get an all-star for, but something that we can maybe sweeten a package with to try to get an all-star. The Sixers have made it very clear that this offseason, they are aggressively pursuing a third all-star. So I don't know how they're going to make it happen. I don't know what kind of chips they're going to use, but that's what they're pursuing.
I mean, good luck.
Speaking of an all-star, James Harden, there's videos circulating of James Harden turning up in the club, which is what this man normally does. Watch this. He saw people were recording him and he was like, ooh. So, Sean, this is not a recent video?
No, this is so dumb. First of all, it's years old, right? Like, it's years old. Like, I think he was in Houston old, right? Like,
shut up. No, it's not that old.
James Harden commented underneath the post and was like, yo, fam, I have braids now. Like, like I have braids. Like that is fresh cut Harden. That is shaved on the side Harden. It's not even the same. So that's one thing. And secondly, first of all, it's weirdo behavior to be recording this man in the club trying to have some fun. So that person needs to put their phone down and have some fun with a nice young lady or a man or whoever you want to be with. All right. So stop recording homie in the club. And third of all, so what? Season's over. He can't club. He can't party. Well, I can go work out and then go party. Like, who cares?
When I saw this, I thought it was recent. I didn't realize it was old, and it's circulating everywhere. And Yeah, that was my exact thing. Like, okay, it's not the day after the playoffs. If it was the day after the playoffs, I'd feel some type of way. But we're a couple of weeks removed from the playoffs. Say this was recent, right? We're a couple of weeks removed from the playoff. The man has the right to be in the club party. It's not like he's missing anything or losing games. But you want to talk about hate. There's a salty taste in our mouth from James Harden's lack of production.
Fam.
So even though this video is old, it's still fueling the fire of, bruh, are you focused?
Fam, who cares? Like, even if it was the day after a playoff loss, you know what I did after I failed the test in college? Failed an exam.
You're not a professional basketball player.
I went right to the club. You know what I do after having a terrible radio show? Right to the club. Okay.
You don't have those, so you don't have those, Sean. Don't put that out there, Sean.
Okay, whatever. Okay, I don't matter what type of performance I have. Afterwards, when it's all said and done, I'm going out.
All right. So we've been talking about this movie for quite a bit. We've known that there is an Adam Sandler movie being filmed in Philadelphia and has something to do with the basketball players. We finally have a trailer for this new Netflix movie coming in June. Sixers players are featured in it. Watch this.
Taking me to see basketball or bare knuckle boxing?
We do everything.
I'm Stanley Sugarman. I'm a scout for the 76ers. So you're 22 years old because you can't be in the draft if you're over 22.
Yes, I'm 22 years old.
Who's this?
It's my son.
How old is he?
He's 10 years old.
Okay.
This Philly thing. There's room to grow there. I want to coach someday.
Do you love being away from home all the time?
Best chance to win in here is with you out there.
What the hell am I still chasing this for?
So you're just gonna give up on your dream?
Been in this league for 30 years and it's like I'm nothing. Look at this guy. You come to Philly, your whole world's gonna change overnight.
I gotta work. My mom and my daughter, they mean everything to me.
Salary's $900,000.
He will call in sick.
In all the years I've been doing this, have I ever reacted this way? He's raw. We train him, get him in NBA shape. What do you say?
Not gonna happen, Stan. You just gotta get back out there.
You know, I haven't been home on my daughter's birthday for 9 years running.
I'm not asking.
The Sixers don't know you stashed him.
Being the guy who finds the guy matters in this business.
Mountains fire you for this.
Just want to make sure I do what's right for the kid. He's got a daughter to support.
You got a daughter to support.
Where are you from?
Spain. Sounds wet.
You think you can stop me?
Welcome to America.
That wasn't him. That wasn't even close to him.
I fly home tomorrow.
Is that what you want to do? Hey, you love this game. I love this game. I live this game. Let's get to work. The draft is in 6 weeks. If we're going to do this, we got to do it ourselves.
No doubt about it. That kid's got it.
Do you need a hand up? You don't need nobody's help.
We need a spark.
This is all for you, pal.
This is for us.
Okay, it's for us.
Gave me all the feels. I had to pull out my popcorn. That was the longest trailer ever.
I hope they paying us for this advertising right here. You know what I mean? I hope we get a cut.
Right. But look, there's a lot of players in this. Boban's in this. He's not a Sixer, but Tobias is in this. Harris. We saw Matisse Thybulle. We saw Dr. J in there. We saw Seth Curry, who's not even on our team anymore. He even, like, Adam even had a Federal Donuts sweatshirt, which is very Philly. It's filmed in Philly. I mean, I'm really excited to see this movie. It's just kind of weird that some of these players might not be with the team.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those are players. All Anthony Edwards from Minnesota was giving a old boy to work. Don't worry about that. Anthony Edwards gives a lot of people work. Shout out to Jaleel White. Saw Jaleel White in there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So Queen
Latifah.
Queen Latifah, the Queen, always got to be shot. I hope I'm not an Adam Sandler guy, which is weird. Like, but it seems like the serious movies he does is different from I hate his comedies, but the serious movies look like they're pretty good. So, and I haven't even seen the gym movie he did with the diamonds.
I haven't seen that either.
So, you know,
I'm excited about it. It's executive produced by LeBron James. It's coming out on June 8th. It's literally Philly all. Stop throwing shade. It's literally Philly all over the movie. So I'm excited about this.
I'm nervous. This is one of those unbelievable trailers, but the movie ain't it.
Why you got to put that kind of energy out there?
All right, I'm gonna check it out though.
All right. Speaking of LeBron James, it seems like we have a little mini LeBron James impersonator by the name of Adonis. It happens to be Drake's 4-year-old son, who apparently from this video, to me, it seems like he's training to be an actual NBA player at 4 years old. Watch this.
Okay, you ready? We believe it's the one. Okay, let's go.
Reset. Good stuff. Yeah. Let's go. 1, 2, and we out to the crib.
Here it is.
To the crib! Yeah. Yeah, that's that man.
I feel so bad for this kid. He couldn't get him a Fisher Price kid's rim where he could dunk it. Like this poor kid, he's training at 4 years old.
Yeah, Drake got him a one-on-one trainer.
Hello.
Listen, man, I'm gonna go no comment. You father how you want to father, but you know.
How old is your kid?
I'm sure 3.
Are you putting your kid to shoot at an adult rim at 4 years old?
Yeah, like my kid wants to shoot. Like he's seen me shoot around before, so he'll like ask me to pick him up, or he'll throw it, but he can't. You know, he's 3; he can't throw it anywhere near it. So I'm sure Drake's kid, wants to play and wants to be out there. You know what I mean?
Does he, or that's his father imposing it on him? Because we know Drake is a basketball groupie. he wants his kids to go to the league so bad.
He is a basketball groupie, but still, if your kid sees you playing basketball, even if he didn't get it from himself, he's gonna want to do it all the time just because he see you doing it. So I mean, he probably wants to do it, but you know, I guess that's what happens when you got that type of money. You can get you can get a one-on-one trainer for $1,000 an hour.
Terrible. Let's talk real quickly about our Eagles. I want to talk about how they're shaping up because we've gotten a couple of new additions recently that are making the fan base really excited. James Bradbury, the corner, which we've been suffering in that corner position for a while. Hassan Reddick, Philly's own, in the linebacker position. AJ Brown, wide receiver. Just to mention a couple, we have a couple of other players as well, which were drafted. A lot of people have the Eagles getting really far this year. Is that a little presumptuous?
Nah, I mean, first of all, their schedule is buns, trash. Like
Not buns.
It's an awful schedule. It's in the bottom 4 of the league. Their strength of schedule. So, and they play the NFC East, which is buns, trash. Like it's awful. So yes, based on the schedule that they play, and like I think I've trashed Howie Roseman for years. Mm-hmm. He's done a great job this offseason. Like he's done something in every spot to make this team better. So yes, this team doesn't have a legitimate shot to win a championship or go to the Super Bowl. No. It's not close. They're not close to that yet. But their playoffs, yes, based on this division to get back in the playoffs and to win games, it's a solid all the way around squad. So it's one of those things: is how good is Jalen Hurts?
Right.
That if he's turns out to be the franchise quarterback, then you can go and win a playoff game.
And how does Devontae grow and some of the other players that we have in place? How do they contribute? All right, real quickly, Phil's not doing the best. We went on a 3-game losing streak and then finally got one over the weekend. And then obviously Bryce Harper is out. And then here's our upcoming schedule for this upcoming week. The Braves, the Mets again. What's going on with our Phil, Sean? We just can't get this offense together.
They can't. Like when Bryce Harper was out, they couldn't do anything. They
Right.
couldn't score. They couldn't get anything done. He came back and then they got some runs in. But it's, first of all, this team isn't as good as you thought they were going to be.
Right.
Period. Like I tried to say that to people before. Like this is not some, people were like, oh, it's like the 2008 Phillies offense with Howard and Rollins. Nah, fam.
That's what
Nah.
Terrell said.
Nah, like y'all should have never felt that way in the first place. And you've gotten some pretty good pitching, but it's going to be inconsistent because your pitchers ain't great. You got some decent bullpen also work, but it ain't great. The fielding is awful. These guys have errors left and right and just make bad decisions. I think this team will get hot. Bryce Harper, will continue to be in the lineup, get back in the lineup, and they're going to score some runs, and they're going to finish over 500. But it's going to be tough to make the playoffs. It's going to be tough to get that last wild card spot, especially when you continue to play, and they've had a gangster stretch. The Padres, the
Right.
Dodgers, and then they got to come back and play the Mets. Like and the Mets usually are jokes, but they're for real this season. It don't matter if they have injuries at the pitching; they're real. So the Phillies aren't as good as y'all thought they would be. But
it was the names that we acquired that made us really excited. But
even with the names,
that ain't enough.
Even with the names, people were acting like, oh, we just got Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire. Like, relax.
Not Barry Bonds.
I'm just saying, like, even with the names, and Castellanos has been great.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber has been a little bit disappointing. I expect them to pick it up. But again, those guys aren't great. And JT Realmuto has been a real disappointment this season so far when it comes to hitting the Brock. Again, they're all going to get a little bit better, but they're not world beaters. So don't expect them to, come back on the Mets.
All right. That is the Playbook. It's our digital sports show. Sean Bell, how could they find you?
Wait, let me say something real quick.
Go ahead.
I told you it was on James Harden. We never talked about this because it's been a couple of weeks, but you tried to give James Harden all the bail.
I did.
You tried to give James Harden all the bail, and I told you Mofo need to play better. Mofo need to come up and be a superstar, and he came up in the last games with 5 and 6 and duds.
First of all, sir,
listen to your boy.
I was okay with him scoring 18, 19, as long as everybody else chipped in. Remember, I said it's a team effort. I don't need him scoring 30 points as long as he's dishing the rock to everybody else. When no one else is scoring, Sean, he needs to score. But it's a team effort, right? I don't need him scoring a whole bunch if everybody else is doing what they need to do and he's dishing the rock well. But if no one else is scoring, bruh, you are an all-star. You need to come in and score, and there's an expectation there. So it wasn't that I was trying to let him off. I definitely need him to produce. You just need to know how to produce when. Are you assisting the ball one game? Do we need you to score? You got to read what's going on offensively and defensively, and as an all-star, understand what kind of James Harden is needed. Do they need the 31-night James Harden, or do they need 31-point James Harden, or do they need the 9-10 assist James Harden? That's all I was saying.
I'm just saying I didn't need glasses for that. I got 20/20 vision on James Harden.
Bye, boy. That's the Playbook. I'm going to say what. Talk to you next week. Thanks for watching The Playbook. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and you got something you want to talk about next week? You can always hit me up on social media at Mina SayWhat, and make sure you join us 1:45 next Monday on R&B Philly's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you.